We've got to speak to the man himself next. Good evening, Alan Shearer. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm very well. Hugh, how are you?
Very well indeed. I was surprised this morning when I went on social media and I saw that Alan Shearer was giving away what is not just to Newcastle fans, but to football fans and Premier League fans everywhere. Probably one of the most coveted items you could give away. So tell us exactly what you're doing for the Alan Shearer Foundation and why you've decided to do it.
Well, like so many charities over the past 12 months, Hugh, the Alan Shearer Foundation has struggled to raise funds. We normally have a ball where we get in 300 or 400 people who spend right few quid and have a few drinks and have a great night. And we have some great acts. We've had Ed Sheeran, Ronan Keating, Ollie Murs, Marcus Mumford, Jess Glynn. And just to name a few over the years, but we've not been able to do anything this year to raise funds. So I thought, well, how can we help, and what can I do to change that? So I asked my kids if they would mind me giving away my 250th Premier League top over my shoulder there, and as well as my boots that I wore for that game, and they very kindly said yes. So we came up with the idea that we'd have a prize draw, and we'd do it on social media and ask if people could donate £10 towards that. Then we'd do a grand draw in a couple of weeks' time. So yeah, that's where we're at. I mean, the reaction today has just been unbelievable. The last time I looked, I think it was over £40,000 we've raised already. So, and that's just on the first day. So we've got another couple of weeks to go. So it's amazing. The Alan Shearer Foundation it's a respite home and activity centre for disabled. We've got 12 bedrooms upstairs, of which we've got 7 residents living in there, and we give it away for free. But that costs a lot of money a year to do that, and around about £250,000 a year to give it away for free. We have a hydrotherapy pool, we've got a cinema room, we've got a lighting centre, and I just love it up there. It's an amazing place, and it means so much to me and my family.
Yeah, really, really, really important cause there. Interesting to hear you say you had to ask your kids. They must have reluctantly, I was going to ask you, was it tough to part with? But clearly it means a lot to the family. I mean, no one has got near your total. 250th shirt this one is. It must mean a lot to you.
Well, I managed to bargain. I said, I've got the 260th, so you can have that one. So I said it shouldn't be too bad that we can give the 250th away, which I of course scored against Manchester City at St James's Park back in 2005. So yeah, they love it up there as well at my centre. It means so much to them as well. So they were up for it as well.
Anton Ferdinand is here with us, Alan, and I was just asking, I said, you must have played against Alan Shearer, and he went, yeah. Anton, just tell us when your first appearance against Alan was.
My first one was my second ever Premier League game up at St James's Park. Don't know if you remember it, Alan.
I do.
We beat you, but I remember one time a ball bounced in the middle of the pitch and you just stepped across me and held me there as if to say, stay there, little boy, you ain't moving nowhere. And I tell you, after that, I'm telling you, the next few weeks I spent in the gym.
You done your job. You come up and beat us, so there you go. That was all right.
Alan, he's still in the gym now. I'm not sure he could hold you off still, to be perfectly honest. Do you think, looking back on that game, we wanted to ask you a quick quiz question. Do you remember who started that game up front with you and who came on for them, your strike partners?
Wow. Wish I'd known you would ask that. Would it have been Shola Amayobi up front?
Yeah, correct.
I remember Titus Bramble spraying that unbelievable pass from the left to the right for me. What was the other question?
Who came on for Shola to replace him?
I don't know, let me guess. Was it some Craig Bellamy?
Patrick Kluivert's the answer.
Patrick Kluivert, wow, yeah. What a player!
Exactly. Shola Amayobi starting up front for Patrick Kluivert would have been hard to remember in front of him. Exactly.
Do you know what though? I couldn't remember Patrick Kluivert played. So I'm buzzing. I played against Patrick Kluivert, by the way.
Exactly.
Oh, come on. You must remember Patrick Kluivert.
I couldn't remember.
Listen, Alan, we just wanted to quickly talk to you about some of the great football that we've seen and another eventful week in the Premier League. Liverpool beaten last night against a great Brighton side, but they've got a massive game coming up this weekend against Manchester City. Now, if City win that game, do you think it's them for the title? Really, it's a must-win for Liverpool?
Yeah, it's a must-win. Yeah, I think. I mean, this season's bonkers, isn't it? The way some of the results are going, they've made fools of pundits. Some of the results this year, trying to predict things is virtually impossible. But it's brilliant for the neutral. But yeah, I mean, I think it's a must-win game for Liverpool, and I'm pretty sure that the Liverpool players and management feel the same way.
What about Manchester United and their chances of winning the title at the moment, after especially that 9-0 win this week?
Yeah, I watched that game. I mean, it was an unbelievable game. Southampton, one of my former clubs, and conceding 9 again. I don't think it'll affect them that much. It'll be tough to take. Obviously, it was the last time it happened, but they bounced back from then, and the manager did what he had to do and used all his experience to get the club back on track, and I'm sure he'll do the same again. Hopefully not on the weekend, because they're playing Newcastle. But yeah, Man United. I mean, some of the players that they've got, particularly in forward positions, are exceptional. He's been the game changer for United. Is Bruno Fernandes. Some of the things that he does with the ball and the way he creates is exceptional. But yeah, they're in with a shout. Do I think they win it? No, I don't. I don't think they'll have enough to win it. I think City will win it.
One of the interesting things this week was about VAR. We'll move on from that. We will talk about it later in the show. But I did want to ask you about Newcastle United, your former club, of course, legendary status. They're now 16th in the league. They've got 1 win in the last 13 games. I know you'll keep a close eye on them. What do you think the issue is for Newcastle at the moment?
Well, we're scoring goals. That was the huge problem. Scoring goals, creating chances. I mean, it's typical Newcastle, isn't it? That it's been all doom and gloom for so long, and then they put in that performance, which came out of nowhere at Everton. They were brilliant to a man for the whole game. Dominated the game, I thought. Created chances, scored goals. Callum Wilson was fantastic. Then they play Crystal Palace in midweek. They score an early goal, and you think, here we go. Everyone's getting excited again. And then Newcastle did what Newcastle do, and they go and lose the game, and it's all doom and gloom again. But they've got another chance to pick themselves up on Saturday against Southampton, which is a huge game because all the teams in and around them are starting to pick up results, and it's important that they get something because they don't want to give those teams in the bottom 3 a chance to look up and think they've got a chance of catching them. So it's a massive game.
Hi, Alan. Darren here.
Hi, Darren.
I just wondered if I could ask you about Manchester City. You were talking a second ago, and I was thinking about just how complete this Manchester City side is. And the one piece in the jigsaw that's missing is a position that you know all about. And it reminded me of the mid-90s when United had Giggs and Beckham on either side and Scholes and Keane in the midfield, and there was all that talk that they just needed one man, and that one man decided to go to Newcastle. And I was just wondering, what sort of striker do you think complements that complete side at City at the moment?
Well, there's two. There's two that I'm sure, or 3 that could do a job. That one would be Kane, the other one would be Mbappe, and the other one would be Haaland. I mean, but that's easier said than done. Getting one of those players into your football club, and I'm not talking to try and get Harry Kane to leave Tottenham, because we all know what he feels about that football club. But he's an outstanding forward, and you know, any half decent centre forward in that Man City team would and should score 30 plus goals a season, and that's league goals, not just any goals. That's league goals with the chances that they create, the balls that they put into the box, with those players in that team, with De Bruyne, Gundogan, and Silva, and I mean all Sterling, all these players in there with the chances that they create. As I said, I think a half decent centre forward should get 30 goals.
Yeah, and just on Newcastle, I know you mentioned him a second ago, but Callum Wilson scoring goals now. I would imagine you're not concerned anymore about them maybe getting within the bottom three because they look good now, don't they?
Well, they looked good against Everton, and they looked good in the first half against Crystal Palace the other day. It was a little bit flat in the second half when they needed to go and get that all-important goal to get back into the game. I'm not overly concerned at the moment because I do think that they'll have enough. They played against, as I said, Everton, and they were exceptional. Got a bit of confidence from that, and then the first half against Palace, they again created chances, should have scored more goals. So I do think they'll have too much to go down, and I think there'll definitely be three worse teams than them. So from that point of view, I'm not too worried.